It's 25 years since Wales had a world boxing champion to have as a hero. That was the legendary Howard Winston, who finally won the title at his 4th attempt. Now Winston has a successor in the most unlikely way, because just 3 months ago, Steve Robinson decided to give up his storeman's job in Cardiff to concentrate on his professional fight career. Then suddenly, at 48 hours' notice, he was called up to take on Newcastle's John Davison for his big chance.
Yeah, I said the gum shields come flying out as well.
Serious trouble, Reg. Davison in serious trouble, Reg.
The referee won't stop the action to put the gum shield in, not at this stage.
That's taken a lot out of Davison in the last round here.
Yeah, he'll last out now though, John. I mean, even if he went down, they couldn't count him out. The bell would interrupt the last round.
The winner and the new WBO featherweight champion of the world is Robinson, ladies and gentlemen.
Robinson gets the verdict, Jim.
The challenger for St Albans already has won a Lonsdale belt outright to go with his Commonwealth gold medal, but Shaun Murphy knows he'll never get a better chance than tonight to step up from British champion. One thing's for sure, there's never a shortage of effort, pace or excitement when Murphy's there.
Just breathtaking, this one.
Mackay was shaken by that one, Reg. This is the first time yet. I don't know if Mackay can dig deep, Reg, to get through this. He's got nothing left. This has been a tremendous pace all the way. His legs have gone.
No, he stopped it in the 9th.
Good evening to you from Cardiff, where we have an exciting value-for-money fight in prospect for the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. First of all, though, two great boxing names who both ruled the world as featherweight champions. Howard Winston, our best featherweight surely in the 60s, and besides him, the legendary superstar featherweight of the 80s for Britain, Barry McGuigan, both, of course, great world champions. So first of all, good to see you looking so well, Howard. What are you, 54 now?
54 now, yes.
And looking good. Now, how does this young lad Robinson compare? I mean, how long is it going to be before he can become a big name like you were?
Well, I hope it won't be too long, because he's got a good following from Wales. And it's all according to what happens, you know, if he can keep his boxing going, and as he has been boxing, because he won his last fight, and he only came out at 48 hours notice, which was wonderful.
Do you think that he'll react well here, or will he be overawed with this crowd?
Oh, I don't think he'll be overawed. In fact, I think he'll be more of a go-getter for him, like, you know.
Good, he certainly looks composed in the dressing room. Barry McGuigan, Murphy, now is his face, he's going to get cut, is it going to stand up to all this tonight? That's the big worry at ringside.
Yeah, he's a real dynamic fighter, Gary. Comes forward, loves to have a fight, but he's had a lot of hard fights, and as you said, he's had over 40 stitches in his career as a boxer. And you know, a fighter can have only so many hard fights, and he can only go to the well so many times. Tonight, the engine might dry up, the well might dry up, and there might not be anything left. But it looks like it's going to be a really interesting and exciting fight for however long it lasts. It really spells to really be an exciting battle.
At the moment, these two lads, Murphy and Robinson, are not big names, but can we expect a really classic fight, do you think?
No question about that. The featherweight division in the country is really hot at the moment. We've got Colin McMillan waiting to see who's going to win tonight for the chance of coming back. We've got Hoko, Paul Hodgkinson, who's just lost his title, and he wants to fight for a title again. So there's any amount of big fights coming through. The featherweight division is very hot, and tonight's going to be an exciting fight.
Okay, Barry, Howard, thank you very much indeed. So, we need to take a short break, but we'll be right back with what, as Barry says, promises to be an outstanding championship. Robinson against Murphy, and here they are.
I won a title at short notice. I intend to keep the title for Wales, and I know Murphy's very strong. I know he's going to come out rushing, and I know if I keep to my boxing pattern, I know I can outbox him.
This is my big chance. I'm going to get a house out of this, and I'm going to take the title from Steve Robinson.
Welcome back. Well, the challenger, Shaun Murphy from St Albans, is already in the ring here at the Cardiff Ice Rink. Now here comes the local boy, the WBO featherweight champion, Steve Robinson. Let's join our commentary team as he comes in, of Reg Guttridge and Jim Watt. First of all, of course, it's Reg.
Well, there it is. What a cheer Steve Robinson is getting there. And he's going to be quite proud fighting in front of people like Howard Winston and Barry McGuigan, and even Colin McMillan is here. And it's a very proud moment. This sort of modern Cinderella man, isn't he, Steve Robinson? Almost an overnight substitute, wins a world championship in the other fellow's backyard, and he's defending it in his backyard. but with 4 British officials in charge. So his popularity is catching on all right now, Steve Robinson. He really says, I think I've been underplayed a little bit. He's come in as the bookies' favourite. Although, well, in American terms, maybe the odds are uneasy, meaning they should be tighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big fight on ITV, coming from the Welsh National Ice Rink in Cardiff, where tonight South Glamorgan County Council sponsor our main event promoted by Dragon and St Andrews Sporting Club in association with Matchroom Boxing. Your international matchmaker, Frank Turner of London. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the featherweight contest with a match made at 9 stone over 12 rounds of boxing, each of 3 minutes duration, for the WBO Featherweight Championship of the world. Your judges for the contest, Dave Paris of London, Paul Thomas of Derby, Nicky Van of Leeds, your timekeeper, Ivor Campbell of Swansea, your WBO supervisor, Ed Levine of the United States of America, your British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge is Lord Brooks of Tremorfa, and when the bell rings and the action begins, your referee is Roy Francis of Kent. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing in the red corner with the blue and the gold shorts, with 22 wins from 25 contests, 14 inside the distance from St Albans, the former British featherweight champion, challenging for the title, Sean Murphy! And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the red shorts, with 14 wins from 24 contests, 7 inside the distance from Cardiff, the reigning WBO featherweight champion of the world, Steve Robinson! Ladies and gentlemen, at the weigh-in today, Murphy scaled 8 stone, 13 3/4 pounds, and Robinson 9 stone exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
So the 4th World Championship for Londoner Roy Francis. Once a great amateur representing Great Britain. And certainly Robinson sparring up there during those introductions looks the part. And says, well, he was only 80% fit when he took the championship. Well, surprisingly, I suppose you could say, from John Davison up in Tyne and Wear. That was last April with a split decision. So there it is then, scheduled of course for 12 rounds. And should it go that distance, Paul Thomas, Dave Paris, Mickey Van, English judges. What a difference that makes with an English referee as well. It's about time these organisations didn't send people from all around the world when we've got them on our doorstep. Smart boxing expected from Robinson. He showed us that with Davison. Sean Murphy's the battler, real gritty competitor, loves the game. Well, the Welsh crowd, Jim, already in good song. I don't think Murphy will bother too much with that, but it will spur Robinson on a bit.
Yeah, well, Murphy never needs egged on, Reg. He's one of the most committed boxers in the game today. He gives every fight 100%. But I think he'll make a lot more mistakes. Robinson a lot more controlled. He has the confidence now of being world champion. And I think we'll see Robinson at his best tonight.
That's Murphy's tactics right in the opening round. He wants to take the fight to Robinson now, try and the war of attrition stuff. That's what he's best at. He couldn't do it against a slippery customer like Colin McMillan. I suppose in some respects Robinson's got that kind of style, but not quite so mobile.
See, Robinson's managing to block most of Murphy's shots, but his own punches are getting through well.
He's a very competent performer, Jim, isn't he? He's done it the hard way. looks physically in great shape, doesn't he, Davison? Not that Murphy doesn't, he's always a fit kid, but I mean, Robinson, since he fought Davison, I'm slipping the wrong name in there, of course. See more fat on a hummingbird than we'll see on Robinson.
See Murphy really throwing a lot of leather, but he tends to waste it a little bit. Just as I say, total commitment all the time. But over 12 hard rounds, you're going to have to pace yourself a little bit. Robinson very tight, very compact. He knows what he plans to do.
Good opening round, Jim, as we come up to the end.
Yeah, this is going to be exactly what we expected. As long as this lasts, this is how it's going to be.
Well, trouble there, hearing the bell, and with this noise in the crowd, as I would think around 3,000 in the Ice Rink here in Cardiff. Ronnie Rush, who's been coaching Robinson right from the off there in the corner outside the ring, and Di Gardner, the manager. And in replay.
See Murphy just a little bit looser than Robinson. Robinson with the chin down, elbows tucked in. Everything from the classic pose. Murphy just a little bit more adventurous, but throwing plenty of leather, a good opening round.
Well, if the opening round is a bit of a taster, Jim, we're in for a tough one and an exciting one. He was onto that, Roy Francis, wasn't he? No pulling on. Had some great battles in his day, hasn't he? And Sean Murphy, he won his last one with Alan McKay to win the championship and get a Longstaff belt outright.
Well, I think Murphy's plan is to outwork Robinson. Robinson doing everything from a nice tight defence, doing it the sensible way. He's going to have to go with Murphy. If Murphy sets this pace, Robinson's going to have to go with him.
Well, he took over late in the fight with John Davison, Jim, didn't he, Robinson? I mean, he did that very well when we thought maybe he'd be the fader. He turned out to be the stayer. So he's had two 12-round fights anyway now.
I think he paced himself very well in the Davison fight. In the early rounds, he didn't do too much work, which maybe had Davison in front, but now he can go to work straight away. He's had plenty of notice for this fight, and he's in 100% shape. See the better quality coming from Robinson in the second round here. Good accurate shots, good sensible defensive boxing.
In style, he's actually a bit of a throwback, isn't he, Robinson? You know, the technique that he's got. Doesn't see too many about like that now.
See, he doesn't evade punches, he blocks them, and already he's starting to take charge here.
Brought a fair fan club with him, Murphy, by the way. A few coach loads from St Albans and Hertfordshire.
Murphy putting everything into every shot, Reg. In over 12 rounds, you can't do that. I mean, nobody is fit enough to set this pace for 12 rounds. Tending to waste too many punches here.
Lost, well, 9 contests actually, Robinson, but that's sort of a jittery start to an unusual career they had there as an amateur. Just a few bouts. But he really is an old head on those shoulders there. He's only 24. Out for the third round then of this World Boxing Organisation version of the featherweight 9-stone division championship of the world, 57 kilos. Defence by Steve Robinson, who's given up the job as a few quid a week storeman, you could call it, by contrast to what he can earn in the fight game. And he certainly deserved it.
I don't think I've ever seen Sean Murphy in a bad fight, Reg. He's the same every time he goes in. Everything he's got, he just throws it at his opponent.
Well, he did it with Alan McKay, Jim, didn't he, at Dagenham? Different type of opponent, of course, but they really was one of the great fights of the year, I thought. And this could well match it, you know, if this keeps up.
See, Robinson has still got that good tight defence, catching most of Murphy's shots.
Another job, Murphy knocking the hard out of Robinson. He's a good gritty competitor. He's never been stopped. Actually, Jim Robinson said that he's going to do his best in the second half of the fight, because as he did with John Davison. He thinks that will suit this type of contest. He was hoping that Murphy's going to burn himself out a bit.
Yeah, well, that's the sensible tactics. I mean, Murphy starts every fight the same way, just total commitment. So it's pointless fighting against that. He'll be looking when the pace slows to be the stronger of the two. And that's what he's doing. He's keeping nice and controlled, the elbows down and the chin down. Everything from that nice little tight, compact defence.
So inside the last minute of the third. Himself very clear, actually, Roy Francis, to these boys. They understand, being an ex-boxer himself, he knows the game, and they understand exactly what he's saying. See, Murphy's forcing him into returning those punches now, Jim, isn't he, Dave?
Well, that's the thing with Murphy, you have to. And he doesn't give you any choice. But Robinson's doing the right thing. He's not trying to slip away from punches. He's blocking them and come back with counters. But this really is a cracker.
So here's Barry McGuigan with Gary.
Well, it's the sort of fight we thought it would be, Barry. It's going off at a cracking pace, and I suppose we've got to ask first of all, can Murphy keep this pace up over 12 rounds?
Well, it's a dangerous thing to write Murphy off, because he's proven in the past that he can fight like this all night. I fancy Robinson. He's keeping his punches very compact, and Murphy's combinations are repetitive. He's predictable. He's repeating the same combinations one after the other. I like Robinson's tactics. He's punching more compactly on the inside. So, as I say, it's a dangerous thing to write Murphy off. But I'm going with Robinson at this stage. He's starting to take authority, and he's starting to stamp his authority on the fight and just take a little bit of control.
Round four. It's always good, Jim, when the professionals are actually enjoying it as well as the viewers that we have. People like yourself and Barry McGuigan and Colin McMillan and Howard Winston.
You know, you can't help enjoying a fight like this, Reg. I mean, you have the two. I mean, the well-controlled boxer against the all-out aggressor. You know, it's all the makings of being a great fight, and thankfully it's living up to that. Murphy trying to become a little bit more controlled now, working behind a jab. Murphy actually looking a little bit better here. He's looking where the punches are going, trying to pick them rather than just wailing away. See, when Murphy drops the pace, Robinson's quite happy to leave the pace down. He doesn't want to fight at that hectic pace. He likes everything under control.
Murphy digs a bit, Jim, doesn't he? It's the accumulation of punches he stops opponents.
Yeah, he's not a one-punch knockout specialist, but he certainly puts everything he has into his punches. When Robinson goes to work, he really does throw the quality punches, delivered properly, bang onto the target.
Definitely a change of tactics here with Murphy. He's doing a bit of boxing to go with it. Remember, he was an ABA champion and Commonwealth Games champion. So he was well taught.
Maybe the plan was to try and blast him out. If that didn't work, then settle down for a distance fight. But see, as soon as Robinson springs into action, it's quality. Real quality.
Some of those punches weren't getting through, of course. He was tucking his arms in well there, Murphy, and trying to get away from some. And firing back well.
It's been a decent round so far for Murphy. He hasn't got as involved as he usually does. Although a lot of his punches have been blocked, he's still throwing far more than Robinson.
Half a minute to go. Cracking contest. It's going to take some sorting out this one. It does go 12. Fifth round then. Just a reminder, scheduled for 12, WBO version of the featherweight championship of the world. Steve Robinson, defending champion from Cardiff, Sean Murphy from St Albans. It's always good to see such a competitive fight in the World Championship, and there's been 1 or 2 walkovers in the past few years.
Yeah, well, this is a bit as even a match as we've had for quite a while, Reg, a real good even match. I'm not saying a year ago we would have thought we'd have been seeing these two boys contesting a World Championship, but the main thing is two good fighters and a real good even match.
Unless they're getting their just rewards, Jim. They've both done it the hard way. They've had their share of losses as well.
Robinson manages to push Murphy back, he really takes control. Murphy is really only effective going forward where he can get power into his punches. He doesn't like boxing on the retreat.
Certainly listening to corner orders, I would have thought Murphy, Jim. I mean, he's changed his, not completely the tactic, but done far more bits of boxing to go with his two-handed stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I think he's been hoping for a quick blast out. When that didn't work, they've settled down expecting a longer fight. I mean, it always looked like being a long fight, but I suppose it's always worth a try. See, as soon as Robinson backs him up, he looks differently.
Yeah,
solid shot.
He pumps his arms out there. There doesn't seem to be that much power in them enough. I mean, I wouldn't want to take them from Robinson, but he's not giving full force because of the speed of them. Half a minute. Now that's what you call decent infighting there, isn't it? You're not holding the referees well away from them, not even looking for a clinch there. And the crowd go crazy when Robinson throws punches back like that in clusters.
Well, here's Colin McMillan, who was the WBO champion until he dislocated his shoulder, and I suppose these two lads may not be in the ring tonight if it wasn't for that injury. But Colin, what's the news now? Will you definitely meet the winner?
Yeah, I am definitely fighting the winner of tonight's fight. Hopefully I'm the first 2 weeks in September.
Well, who's it going to be? It looks a bit like Robinson, maybe.
Well, it's a cracking fight. It's very close at the moment. I won't have to pick a winner, but Steve is looking more composed of the two. You know, if he keeps on doing what he's doing, he looks as though he should come a bit stronger the later fight goes.
What has Murphy got to do? Has he got to slow down a little bit?
He's got to be a lot more careful with his shots. He's throwing a lot of waste on a lot of shots. He's throwing too many wild punches. He's got to control it a little bit more and look for that good eye hand because it's hard.
Okay, but it's certainly a good fight. Here's Reg again.
Second round,
Round 6. And the ice pack applied there to the right eye of Murphy, but it's swelling, but he's lived through those. He's had problems with cuts around the face, quite a few over the years, but all these modern micro stitches. Never loses his hunger for a fight, though, Sean Murphy. Lives in a council house, wants to buy a big one, has 3 kids. So this is one game where he can get some money. It's only 12, actually, 12-round finished fight was against Sean Murphy, was against Colin McMillan. And, well, he was well outpointed, but he never gave up trying there.
See, Murphy's the one who's prepared to sustain the pace, where Robertson wants to fight in little bursts. So Robinson's going to have to be careful that he doesn't get outworked here. I think he's going to have to go with Murphy a little bit more, raise his own pace.
Jim, there's not a lot in it, is it, by the 6th round? I mean, very little.
I had Robinson ahead after 3, but Murphy, since he started settling down, using his jab a little bit, he's tightened things up. Very close at the moment.
It's a bit dangerous now. They're bumping and boring with heads there. It's not deliberate, it's the way they're clashing, but one would expect Murphy to come off worse if that happens with head clashes. Well, that uppercut was seen by everybody except Murphy, but he's replied with one. What a good close-in battle, isn't it, Jim? You don't often see that, sort of what we used to call American style, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the fight is beginning to tilt. The type of fight is beginning to tilt to suit Murphy. See, this is what he likes, just standing, swinging the punches. Robinson not putting as much thought into his boxing as he was in the first 3 rounds.
Don't forget, when they're totting up the points, all British officials, 3 judges, the referee doesn't vote, Roy Francis. That's assuming it goes. You never know this in this game. One punch can turn it all around. Seventh round. Time off, says Roy Francis. Just wants the corner cleaned up a bit there, stop the boxers slipping. Robinson's corner. Well, it started off at a fast pace, and it still is, Jim.
And the strange thing is, Sean Murphy is looking better since he's settled down a little bit, since he's tried to work from behind the jab and work at long range. He's not wasting so many punches, and he's not allowing Robinson to control with a good counter punching. Robinson is going to have to get a little bit more involved here.
Real good, honest endeavour all the time from Murphy, and sometimes his boxing ability, Jim's a bit underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look through his record, okay, I mean, he had no success whatsoever with Colin McMillan. He was just the wrong opponent altogether for Murphy. He couldn't even get close in 12 rounds. But it's not too often he's outboxed. See, when Robinson puts the punches together, he really looks at world champion stuff. But he's settled down a little bit. He's not going at the same pace as Murphy.
He worked hard there, the referee, and just above the commentary position there, he was, as though he was sweating enough to lose a stone. Maybe he could do with it too. First real signs of being untidy, Jim. There's a little bit of tiredness creeping in by the 7th.
Yeah, they're beginning to feel the pace. It's been a cracking pace all the way through. And I thought when the pace settled down that Robinson would begin to take over a little bit, but not yet. It's time for Robinson to start trying to back Murphy up. Murphy not half as effective if you push him back.
Those bursts in by Robinson are very eye-catching. Not terribly effective, really, isn't it? A bit showy.
Yeah, but I will say Robinson's punches are probably more accurate than Murphy. Murphy just swinging and hoping some of the time. See, Robinson has a tight defence, not easy to get through. But Murphy, I think he's just trying to win this on volume. Just keep the punches flowing.
He doesn't mind working off the ropes though, Murphy. He's enjoying it. Maybe not wise. Referee just having a check, making sure everything's okay as he collects the cards and peers over the corner there, making sure both boxers are being attended properly. And of course there's always inspectors in the corners anyway from the Border Control. And again, Jim, oh, what a jab that was.
See, when Robinson comes forward, he takes control. But I don't think he's committing himself enough. He's reacting to Murphy, but he's not leading off enough, and he's allowing Murphy to push him back and get his own punches off. But see, when he goes to work, lovely little burst of punches from Robinson.
There they are. Well, that's from St Albans, as you can see. They're well pleased with their night's work and their journey. Round 8. Left jab in the previous round there from the champion Robinson. Brought blood from Murphy's nose. You see that? Don't hold with the right hand there. Francis knows all about that from his boxing days. Cracker of a championship fight though, didn't it?
Yeah, great battle, yep. Always looked like being a good one. And the referees never really had to get involved there too much. A little bit now that they're beginning to tire a little bit. Oh, good job from the champion there. See, when Robinson meets Murphy as he comes in and gets the power into his punches, he certainly looks the better boxer of the two, but the total commitment again coming from Murphy.
Well, it started off as I thought as a war of attrition, and that's what it's going to be. It's almost as though not the styles, but the skills and endeavour are equal, and it's the man who imposes his will more on the other. so much desire there, Jim, isn't there? You know about that.
Yeah, and especially from Murphy. But see here again, as soon as Robinson backs him up, he takes total control. The first thing you have to do with Sean Murphy is try to back him up. It's not easy to do, but it takes away 50% of his potential. He has to come forward to be effective. The rounds are so even now, Reg. It's difficult to split them. The last 3 rounds have been so close.
Boxing scoring, Jim's always so subjective anyway. People on all sides of the ring here probably have different opinions, although there's a healthy Welsh crowd to be looking for their man and considering him in head.
Again, the quality punches coming from Robinson. When he goes to work and puts the punches out in bursts, real good quality shots. Murphy becoming a little bit reckless again, Reg, maybe tiredness.
Barry McGuigan, the judges are going to earn their money tonight. I mean, it's going to be difficult to score this, isn't it?
It's a terrific contest, and these rounds are so close. I have Robinson maybe 1 round in front, maybe slightly more than that, but they're ever so close. A tremendous contest, one of the best, qualifies for one of the best fights of the year. Certainly, I think that Robinson is more compact at long range. Murphy's inclined to be a bit loose and a bit open, and Robinson's starting to apply the pressure. It could go right down to the wire, but I fancy Robinson at this stage again.
He's strong though, Murphy, isn't he? Strong puncher.
What a strong! He could be saving. He took a bit of a breather there for a few rounds. He could be saving it for the last few rounds. Who knows?
Ninth round, and Murphy's cornerman then had to work hard with the adrenaline swabs, his nose bleeding. Well, to him that's all the bruises and contusions. The battle doesn't mean anything to Sean Murphy. He really loves the game. The money's handy as well.
Two good jabs from Robinson.
Yeah, they take away Murphy's concentration a little bit. Jamal is trying to psych himself up for one particular punch. He's getting the taps on the nose. I say taps, they're rather forceful taps at that.
See, I feel that Robinson has to start leading off, and that's what he's doing now. See, when he goes forward, if he backs Murphy up, he really looks different class. But can he sustain this?
So a minute gone in the 9th. No, just overreached himself there. Now there's the nose bleeding again. Now that might hamper him a bit, Jim.
See, Murphy became a little bit reckless at the end of the previous round, and I thought maybe that's signs of tiredness. Now he's being backed up. Robinson teeing off on him now. When Robinson backs him up, he really takes charge. Murphy seems hurt, yes.
He's ducking below the waistline there, which is actually clouding the rules a bit. I don't think that we can hear the count. You may be able to hear it at home, but we certainly can't in this din. And he's counted him out in the act of rising in the 9th round. Referee completely in order there. He says 9 and out, and unless the man stands up and is ready to box on, the referee has to count him out. And he's done it right there. Well, I had that a close fight, perhaps even closer than Barry McGuigan and Jim Watt. But what a finish it was there by Steve Robinson. Having won the title in style and now regained it in style. And there'll be no complaints from Murphy with that. So Ronnie Rushton, he started and well, he deserves a kiss for all the hard work put in. And here's the finish, Jim.
Yeah, what a difference. At the end of the previous round, as I was saying, Murphy began to look a little bit weary, swinging and looking very loose. Then as soon as Robinson got on top, these punches were real quality stuff. And when Murphy goes on the floor, Reg, it's not by choice. You really have to put that man down, as brave as they come. But unfortunately, just mistimed the count. I don't know if he had enough grit to get back into the fight again. But when Robinson got him over, he mistimed the count. He tried to rise at 9. You have to be ready for action as the count reaches 9, and he wasn't. But look, a very sad-looking, dejected man there.
In 1 minute 40 seconds of round 9, by a count of the winner and still the WBO champion of the world, Steve Robinson! Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to show your appreciation for a tremendous loser, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Murphy. A tremendous effort from Sean Murphy.
There's the belt, and Steve Robinson, your boxing career is changing dramatically. What a 9th round that was.
Oh yeah, I just had to dig deep, you know, and I knew he was going, like I knew I hurt him to the body, so I just picked up the pace more, and I knew he was going.
I mean, it was a very close fight at stages, but take us through this closing stages. Talk about this.
Oh well, I was hurting to the body. I knew he was hurt. He was slowing down, and so I worked to the body and head then, and I knew I had him. Yeah.
I tell you what, he was a tough opponent, but you're showing tremendous composure. This crowd didn't affect you. Nothing seems to affect you, Steve. Your composure seems to be so good. You seem to be in such control.
I know he's. John Murphy's fast when he comes out, you know, he's very fast in the first few rounds, so I knew I had to keep my composure. So I knew after about 6 or 7 rounds, I knew I had him.
Tell you what, you're looking good, but so too when he's in action is this gentleman here, Colin McMillan, who was the champion. Now you have to fight him. Now what about this performance from Robinson?
I thought he worked very well tonight, very composed. He paid himself lovely, and when he had Sean in trouble, he finished him off like a champion. You know, well done to Steve.
But you've got to meet him in September. Your jab might be dangerous.
I'm looking forward to the fight. I think Steve showed he's a true champion tonight. He showed a lot of skill, a lot of fitness, and a lot of determination. So it's going to be a tough fight for me, but I'm quite confident.
Well, the bad news for you is that this fight's going to be in Wales, and it does make a lot of difference. What do you think about fighting Colin McMillan here in Wales now, Steve?
Oh, looking very forward to fighting Colin McMillan. It'll be a good fight. I know he's a classy boxer, but I know I'm strong enough to beat Colin.
I think you're going to have to accept that with the opposition around, you're always going to be involved in tough fights now. I mean, McMillan's going to be another tough fight for you.
I know he's going to be a tough fight. He was world champion as well. Like, you know, he's a very classy fighter. But I know I got the class to match him, and I know I got the strength to beat him. Well,
you're giving us a lot of entertainment. You're involved in good fights. Thank you very much, Steve. You're still champion. Well done. Good night. Colin McMillan next for you. Well, another local favourite here at Cardiff, Nicky Piper, had a successful evening, stopping Trevor Ambrose of Leicester inside 5 rounds. And Nicky's off to the Caribbean to get married next week. Good luck to him. There'll be a big announcement in the British boxing scene on Monday. Barry Hearn tells me tonight that he'll be announcing that Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn will definitely meet again on Saturday, October the 9th at Old Trafford. They'll get £1 million apiece. Well, Steve Robinson isn't getting that sort of money at the moment, but his bank balance is certainly swelling. He deserves to. He's come from nowhere, and yet again tonight he put in a terrific performance to retain the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. I don't think he can still believe it, but we can. He's a great performer. From Cardiff, good night.